Hi, I'm Steve Good and welcome to my Scroll Saw Workshop. I'm out in the shop tonight to talk about a topic that comes up pretty often on my blog. I receive a lot of email from people asking how to get started in the hobby and whether or not they can get started scrolling with an entry-level scroll saw. The expense of a mid-level to high-end scroll saw is pretty high just to get started into the hobby. So a lot of people are looking to get started with an entry level. Now, what I thought I would do is go out and purchase an entry level saw. In this case, I have the Craftsman model number 21602. It's a 16-inch variable speed saw, has a 45-degree left tilting table, accepts plane end and pin end blades, has a dust remover, all the features that you probably would like to look for when you go out to buy a saw. This particular saw is just entry level. The price at Sears full retail is $116. Happens to be on sale this week for $109. So I went out and picked it up, and I thought we'd go ahead and do an unboxing of this saw, talk about the features it has, then maybe cut a few small projects with it just to give you some expectation that what you would be able to do and what kind of saw you'll have if you start out with an entry-level saw. And then once we get that done, maybe I can go through and show you a few little tricks that can kind of upgrade the features of the saw a little bit that might be helpful also. And then when I get all that done, what I hope to do is go ahead and clean it up, box it all back up, and then maybe we'll do some kind of drawing giveaway for this saw on the website. So let's go ahead and do the unboxing, and then we'll talk about the features. I'm going to go ahead and open this saw up now, and we'll just take a look at the packaging and the fit and finish of this Craftsman saw. Okay, in this case we've got the owner's manual here taped to the top of the packaging. Go ahead and take that off. Looks like it's packaged pretty well with styrofoam protection. We'll go ahead and move that out of the way. Drop the little T-handle. This particular saw is not toolless for the blade change, so it does come with a T-handle Allen wrench to change the blades. Also comes with a few scroll saw blades, which we probably won't use. Okay, now the saw itself in the box looks like it's packaged pretty well. It comes with the table tilted all the way to the left, but it does look like it's fully assembled. Let's go ahead and see if we can lift it out. I'll set the box aside here. Let's see if we can get the wrapping off of it without tearing up too much. Okay, I think I'll adjust the camera here just to give you a little better view. Got the saw set up here on the workbench, and just show you the accessories that came with it. It did come with the tool for changing the blades. It came with 2 pin end blades, and looks like 3 or 4 plane end blades, probably none of which I will use. I'll use a higher quality blade. That always helps a little bit. It does come with a hold down. It comes with a blower to keep the dust off the line. The blower did come with the tube unassembled up here, so you have to go ahead and put the tube up here on this piece. The tension is in the back of this saw. You'll set the tension back here. It is variable speed. Your variable speed control down here, on-off switch just to the left of it. It does come with an attachment for a shop vac to help in dust collection. And again, like I said, it is a 45-degree tilting table that only tilts to the left, and that seems fairly smooth. Go ahead and tighten that back down. Probably what I would do when I got started is get rid of this hold down. If you're new to the hobby, you may want to keep it on here, but I'm going to go ahead and remove it just to get it out of my way. I generally don't use a hold down. It is a safety device, so if you're new to scrolling, go ahead and use it. I'm going to get that out of the way. Now, one thing I noticed right off the bat when I unboxed this saw, plugged it up, and ran it a little bit before I turned on the camera here, is if I turn this saw on right now, I've got the speed turned all the way down, and it seems relatively vibration free. I would say that's not bad. As I turn the power up, or turn the variable speed up, the vibration does pick up, and what I've noticed is that a lot of that vibration is coming from the tensioning knob back here, not allowing the saw to be tensioned properly. If I go ahead and turn this tension as tight as it'll go on this saw, and I'm going to turn the speed back down, and turn this on, you're going to hear a pretty considerable knocking noise. Okay, that's not acceptable. And I'll have to look into seeing why it's doing that and see if that's normal or something I can adjust out. If I take a little bit of the tension off of it, I think the blade still has an adequate amount of tension, but we'll find that out when we begin to cut on it. But you can see I can get rid of that knocking noise just by reducing the tension a little bit. And of course the knocking gets worse as you turn the speed up. And at that point you can hear that the blade tension is a little bit too small, or it's not tight enough. So we're definitely going to have to look into that and just see what kind of problem that actually poses for us. But again, that's one of the trade-offs for an entry-level saw. You're not going to have that vibration-free experience usually on this type of saw. Okay, the next thing I think we'll do here is take a look at changing the blades. If you've done any scrolling before, you'll know that being able to change the blades easily, or just to remove the blade from either the top or bottom chuck so you can thread it through the next entry hole, is pretty important. Now this saw uses a tool to remove the blade. And the first thing you want to do before you remove the blade is release the tension. So I'm going to turn the tension all the way down, and that'll give us quite a bit of slack here in the blade, as you can see. And then we're just going to take our tool, loosen this set screw. Now the blade that's in it happens to be a pin-in blade, and in this case what we'll do is just push down on this upper arm and we can pull the blade out. Now I've went ahead and loosened the set screw on the bottom chuck, which is just like this top one. And that's why I was able to pull it out from the bottom. So it's just as simple as that. When you want to go ahead and put in another blade, in this case if you're using a pin-in blade, you just simply hook it in the bottom chuck, hook it into the top chuck, and then go ahead and tighten down the set screws and readjust your tension. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and we'll put in a plain end blade and see how that works.